do what thou wilt. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 12 of 7 Minutes with the Magus, featuring your host, Omega Logion, Magus of the Eon of Maat. In this episode, we're going to talk about the next holy book that I received, called, appropriately enough, the Book of the 12 Ages. Now, in the previous holy book, it talked about the beginning of the eon. This holy book talks about the various zodiacal ages. As you probably know, at the equinox, the sun has a different background of stars over the years, and it takes about 25,700 some years to get through the whole cycle of the zodiac. And each sign that it passes through is called a zodiacal age, and it lasts about 2,100 years. This book is going to go through the zodiacal ages backward in time, starting with the current one, and then it's also going to talk about the 7 planets. So I'm going to read some excerpts from it so you get a flavor of what it says. It begins. In the age of Aquarius, they danced beneath the stars of the equator and rejoiced in the moonlight. In the age of Capricorn, they built fires and pyramids and sundry things of metal. In the age of Sagittarius, their exultation reigned supreme until the far hills resounded with the cry of wolves. In the age of Scorpio, the deep forests were lush with the homes of the anaconda and the vampire bat. In the age of Libra was the seat of power chiseled from the mountain of tall cedars. In the age of Virgo, a small man rode on horseback to the castle keep and rescued the maiden within. In the age of Leo, the Sphinx sat silent before the mystery of the revolving cosmos. In the age of Cancer, 4 horses pulled the chariot of the sun from one mountain to the other, bestrewing flowers on the people as it arced across the vault. In the age of Gemini was the stallion born, whose rider would trample the heathen and wield the sword of truth. In the age of Taurus, 5 wise women formed a coven to keep the secret of herbs and stones from the prying eyes of the ignorant. In the age of Aries stood tall stones in a semicircle, each sunk into a pit hollowed out by hands that clapped at the sight of the sun. In the age of Pisces, the marriage feast was prepared, and men and women rejoiced in the fruits of their labors. Each age bears the mark of the one before it and prepares the way for the next. Each age constituted victory of time over dissipation and tradition over ignorance. And yet on this carousel, the axle is always the same. Amun, the hidden one, the great reconciler of opposites, healer of divisions, maker of the still point that marks where within becomes without. And thus are the zodiacal ages characterized sometimes with astrological symbolism, sometimes with other hidden secret wisdom that you can tease out with mythology and symbols and gematria. Another major part of this book talks about each of the 7 planets and their nature. For Venus, there is love, but also compassion, desire, but also empathy, beauty, but also balance, and above all, openness, the pure courage of the vulnerable. For Mars, this strength is a different kind of courage, of advancement and not reception. In its extremity is aggression. In its balance, it is might making right the wrongs that attempt to breach the castle. In the throne room is Jupiter, on a chair carved by hand with the regalia of eagle's talons and lion's manes and bull's horns and dolphin's fins. Here is the wise judgment of the mighty, those who do not strive but tend to their kingdom and its subjects. Wisest of all is he who does not strive, but brings order to the populace and corn to the silos of the hungry. His queen is the moon, and her lesson is that each avenue of change needs guidance from one who sees beyond the revolutions and patterns, who flows with the ebb and rises with the tide, but who looks on from her own throne in calm assurance that change is cyclical. And the sickle is wielded by her dread Uncle Saturn, who means no harm but merely harvests the seeds sown by the caprices of men and women. He will not let the wheat grow too tall or wither and rot in the field. He is the limit at which the fruits of karma are brought to the bushels of benevolence, for even in his harshest terms, he is merely ending that which has run its course. Of Mercury, we can say only that his tricks are for pure joy, and his wealth is for the taking. He believes in exchange and trading one side of the coin for the other, for one type of experience and another, so that dullness and repetition are not of him. He brings smiles to weary travelers who may pay more than they bargain for to be led by the master guide through the labyrinth unto the right translation. Above all and under none, over each the roaring sun lets majestic rays of messages travel in every ether and every age. Be one with the sun until thy work be done. Whatever that work may be, let it be thy will. Be one with the sun until thy work be done. And whatever that work may be, let it be thy will. And so ends this episode. I hope you'll join me for future ones. And until then, don't forget, love is the